So this video is about nasty Hollywood and the sex cults that exist. And so it's been various news posts and social media that has creeped out with some of this stuff. And a lot of people pass it off as a conspiracy. But I really don't think it is conspiracy. I do really truly believe that it is some sex cults, orgies, some nasty wild parties that go on, and a lot of those individuals that go to these parties are hoping to connect with individuals so that they could basically sleep their way to fame. So it's a lot of stuff going on in Hollywood that people don't really understand, and they don't know that it's happening. They assume that people are just working on projects, and there might be some people, but that's not all of the people. And so, when people get money brings fame and all these people out of the woodworks and power, a level of power, and we're money driven, especially here in the U.S. And Hollywood is nothing short of that, and they're no stranger to controversies. And so Bill Mather, I believe, he mentions it, and it came out. Satanic Hollywood sex cult lists Bill Mather and others as members. And so apparently he's involved in this Eyes Wide Shut, let me read it. A dark and disturbing Hollywood sex cult has been exposed where rich and powerful members sign their blood and sell their souls to an unknown entity in return for access to much younger sex slaves at monthly Eyes Wide Shut style events. And so I really don't believe that this is made up. I believe that it is true. So it says the Skull and Crossbones style secret society exposed by a brave investigative reporter who infiltrated a recent party disguised in a mask. An agent provocateur lingerie is believed to keep its A-list members in a line by secretly filming the extreme acts that take place and blackmailing them at a later date. And so this is used as blackmail to keep people in line so that they don't come out and say things otherwise. So there's a lot going on in Hollywood, more than what people know. So the reporter described entering a secret party and seeing Bill Mather in a sea of beautiful young women, and she immediately approached him. "Are you a Leo?" she asked, the host of HBO Real Time, while eyeing a lion pendant around his neck. And so, "No, they make me wear this stupid thing because I'm a member," so he replied, stroking the back of his date, a pretty younger woman in a short black leather dress. So New York Post reports around us a mostly female crowd of models, young professionals, actresses, and assistants strut about in couture lingerie, much to the delight of older male guests in tuxedos. So 120-something blonde crawls on the carpeted floor wearing red lace and a face mask with a leather pig snout and ears. The other pretty young things wear metallic pasties and black badges that read "Eat Me or Touch Me," and this is on their decollage, while holding silver platters of bite-sized brownies and parfait. So a man who calls himself the Bunny Man and wears a black leather mask and rabbit ears demonstrates various Japanese bondage techniques on an aroused woman sitting upright in a plush gold painted chair. So the elite are even trying to hide it. They're not even hiding this anymore, is what they say. So this is sort of like they might pass it off as just some kind of ritzy ditzy wild kinky party, but it's actually like a little clique, which is a cult. So where um, SNCTM, an exclusive monthly sex party held in LA, occasionally New York, where the rich and powerful and pleasure-seeking indulge their kinkiest fantasies. And so the parties are the brainchild of Damon Lawner, a divorced 45-year-old, 2 young kids. Lawner found SNCTM in February of 2013 after spending years throwing high-end but not erotic events in Bali. So he now hosts sex parties full time. So tonight's event is an intimate affair for 99 people and features 2 performances, a live threesome, and a sexy fire-eating show. So for the erotic elite, there's an annual Dominus membership of $75,000, which includes admission in all parties, a sterling silver necklace with a lion pendant, access to private rooms at parties, and Lawner's network of sex experts. So the high-level membership is currently limited to 11 men and 1 woman, ranging from Grammy-winning musicians to successful businessmen, according to Lawner. So I'm giving you basically the rundown of how these things go. And so he's not probably the only one that does this. I'm sure that there are probably others parties that go down like this. And when you're rich and powerful, or when you're rich, you feel powerful, that is, and you feel like your money will buy you into anything your money can buy people, and you can keep people quiet as well. So some are married guys that just want to know how to give better pleasure, and they don't get this type of thing anywhere else. Lawner says there's also this caption here saying Blood Oath Dominus members sign a blood oath involving blood and a paper document to join the Lawner. But Lawner won't go into the details of this. And so that's all that I can tell you. He says it's an initiation into a society. So cell phones are prohibited. They must be checked at the door. All parties have a masquerade theme. And while masks are required for the entry, many take them off inside. Men wear tuxes, women wear the sexual lingerie or cocktail dresses. And as exclusive as parties are, the vibe is friendly and there's no Hollywood pretense. So attendees are open and eager to talk, flirt, and much more with each other. So I feel like I am home here. A young pilot wearing an Arium member pin on his left lapel tells me as we hang out around a small lap pool with 2 huge unicorn floaties in the backyard. Warmth just kind of comes over me when I walk in, so I brush by a towering beauty in a black lace catsuit. So is that agent provocateur too? So she says, eyeing a bondage-inspired Swarovski crystal encrusted bra hidden beneath my sheer black cape. So I tried that one on. It looks amazing on you. So provocateur is something that an unofficial partner for the erotic event. So last September, The SNCTM held a top secret party in New York during Fashion Week. So attendees pick up brass keys with a sorare address engraved on them, and high-end lingerie company stores in Soho and Madison Avenue. So Larner is working to take SNCTM beyond Beverly Hills. So he plans to host a party on a yacht at this year's Cannes Film Festival and do 2 events in New York in September for Fashion Week. So he also says that he's in talks with Showtime to do an 8-part documentary with thoughts to do a scripted show on his life. Glee producer Brad Falchuk is dating Gwen Paltrow, whose website Goop has positively covered SNCTM. Warner says Falchuk, and Paltrow have come to parties together. So Gwyneth is not a crazy kinky person like people think, he says. So she's a down-to-earth total sweetheart, and they are exploratory with each other. So you see how all these things are coming out. And so at press time, Reps, Fox, Showtime could not confirm that these projects were in development. Reps for Mather, Paltrow, and Falchuk did not respond. So you notice that they keep quiet and they try to keep this hid and they don't talk about it, and they try to keep it on what we call the down low, or keep it quiet. But these events are very real and they are happening, and that is how the people look. They have their mask on, and these events are real. It is not phony, and that is what the people are involved in, is this eyes wide shut culture. And it's funny because people have been talking about this stuff for a long time, and I guess people didn't think that it was real, and they thought, oh, these are just conspiracies. But think about it. If you're rich and powerful, right now Weinstein, they're wrapping up his trial. You heard what happened with R. Kelly, and R. Kelly wants to come out and talk about all these other Hollywood celebrities that are involved in sex cults and whatnot. This is not something that is unusual and something that is made up or is not real or is conspiracy. These things actually are happening. Think about it. People get money. They feel like they're invincible. They feel like their money can buy them anything, and power, and also people silence, and they can bribe people. In these shows, if you show up to this, some people are in these circles. Maybe they think, if I just sleep with these people, I can get into Hollywood, I can become popular and famous. And so it's not something that seems like it isn't true. It seems more like it is truth-telling, and that it's just that people have to be more realistic and know that not everybody is getting into the doors of Hollywood just with their talent alone of we can act and we can sing, but some of these people have used their bodies, or maybe they've been tricked. Maybe they've been invited to these parties not aware that this is what goes down at these parties. And then when they're in these parties, it's like, now we can use this against you. If you say this and this about this individual, this is what we can use against you. We have video of you having sex with, this person and that person. So it's not unusual that this kind of stuff goes on. This has been going on for years. And so I've seen a lot of videos. Some of them seem pretty extreme, and that's probably why some people can't receive it well. But now that you look at all the people getting in trouble for sexual assault, think about it. You don't think they hadn't been orchestrating or been a part of these parties? If you could have Jeffrey um, Jeffrey, who he had a pedophile island, and he had all those famous people's names, and all of a sudden they claim he committed suicide, which I really still don't believe. I think that he knew a lot of famous people, and they were coming to that island, and they was paying him money. That's why he stayed paid. He was a part of all of this stuff, and he had his island, and he probably was making money off of those very people that now they just step back. They pull away from him because they don't want to attach themselves to him because of the trouble he got in. Him and his girlfriend, when these women came out and these young girls said that they were holding them and that they were making them have sex, and they were, basically abusing these young girls and taking them to the island, and they were giving them to these men, rich, wealthy people, and probably famous people too, that probably still we see in Hollywood. You would never believe that were involved in all of this. And so I really truly believe that it's a lot of stories in Hollywood that are ugly stories that people, they are not, some know this is happening and they're willing to hear it, and then others, it's disbelief, it's shock. It's like really like, oh my God, I didn't know, But I really do believe that this is still going on, and basically this guy, he makes a lot of money, whoever he is. And these people that orchestrate these parties, they make a lot of money from these rich, wealthy people going to these sex parties. It is not something that is made up. I do believe this is what happens. And so, it's at your own discretion, your own risk. They're not monitoring whether you're using protection or not. So if you end up getting something, that's you're an adult. It's up to you. So I do believe that this is happening, and it's happening. It's probably happening more than ever before.